All right, yo, it's your boy Yoshi Kid Neo, and we are back in the World of Boridil, the Ruination of Boridil, the newest campaign, and this is part two. So the last time we left our heroes, they were starting in the town of Burkton over here, which I'm going to be going over all of this to the players, but today's session, they're going to be meeting the leader of the bandits that are essentially terrorizing this lower area of this kingdom. And it's going to be interesting. I 100% expect them to kill everybody. And I've made it to where essentially, because bandits are, what are bandits? I think they're like a CR half or some shit like that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, a CR 1/8. Max HP that they could ever have would be 18, and judging by the damage that the party can do in a single round just because they're level 8, these guys stand no chance. So I'm going to make it to where they know that. I'm going to show them that these bandits are actually pretty pitiful looking and things like that. And we're going to see like what type of moral code are these characters, these new characters that they have. Are they willing to kill people just because they've done a couple bad things, or do they want to attempt to, I don't know, not necessarily save them, but to try to change their ways maybe? But we'll find out. So today's going to be more of a social style game. I do actually have I do have one creature that I plan to throw at them if, well, it'll probably be while they're on their journey, and we'll see what they do. So it should be fun. So hopefully you enjoy, and we'll get right into it.
Okay. It legitimate.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm putting this on my list.
That's good.
What's on
It's
your
been
list?
recommended. It was recommended to me by a lot of people.
All right. So before we start, if everybody could open up their character sheets.
No.
No, you.
Pretty please.
Open.
Now I don't.
Like our actual character sheets? Okay,
Yeah. So when you have your character sheet open, where all your tabs and shit are, there's one called effects. Now, more than likely, effects doesn't have anything right now, but since I'm pretty sure every single one of you are a spellcaster, sometimes when you cast spells, I have updated all of the spells on your. I'm pretty sure I updated all the spells on all your sheets. I may have missed a couple because there's, like 50 plus spells per one of you. So, but when you cast a spell such as Mage Armor right now for Lloyd, I'm pretty sure there should be an effect in there, and it'll actually, so that effect right now has changed your armor class. So the moment that I downloaded a module that actually kind of keeps track of the time from when you cast it. And if you actually go to the edit effect for that mage armor, I think because you deactivated it, fucked it up, but that's okay.
Yes.
No worries, because it'll go away eventually. But some of the spells and stuff that you guys are going to be casting, it should automatically do what the spell says it'll do. Misty Step, for instance, when you cast Misty Step, it'll actually put a little template onto the battlefield, and it'll have you click where it is that you want to go, and it'll move your token for you. It's fucking cool.
That's a reaction.
Ooh, that sounds awesome.
It is definitely not a reaction. Kirsten, your character, if you look in your inventory, you'll see that you have a Sentinel Raven thingy.
Raven.
Yeah, which actually, let me delete that Raven that you do have. So the Sentinel Raven, if you right click it, you see where it says equipped. If you unequipped it, it'll take away your effect that you have. When you re-equipped it, it'll put the effect back on. And that effect is having, what's his fucking name? Beltran. That effect is having Beltran on your...
Beltran.
Yeah. Beltran being on your shoulder is when you have your Sentinel Raven equipped. and it will add the perception bonuses that you get. So if you go to your attributes real quick, you can actually right click and unequipped Beltran from there, and you'll see your passive perception changes based on whether you have him equipped or not. So that's one thing for you that I for sure remember. Lloyd with the mage armor. I don't think there was anything else for your character that I can think of. Nope. Let's see. So for you, Joe, you have 2 inactive effects right now. If you look in your inventory, you've got 2 copies of your sword. Oh, he's fucking deafened, so never mind. God damn it. Oh, there he is. Joe, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Joe.
Far away though.
Yes, I
Oh,
was. Yeah. So Joe, you have 2 copies of your weapon. One of them is when you put your weapon in its unleashed state, which will activate all of the bonuses that the weapon gets. So what you'll have to do is you can do a couple things. You can either favorite it, and if you want, I could actually look into making a macro that you could just click and it'll switch which one you have equipped. But when you have the version of your Sage Cleaver that says Unleashed on it, it'll affect, or the effect for it will activate, and your crit range will increase to a 19 or a 20. It'll add the radiant damage, which only affects the first hit during a turn. So if you hit twice in a row with your weapon damage, we'll just take away the second bit of radiant damage. I can do that on my own. I haven't figured out how to make it only do it once on a round. But you also have an inactive effect of the Radiant Soul, which you would have to right click and toggle on the effects page yourself. I don't know how to get it into a macro just yet for you, but I'm working it. And that, I think, is all I have for Cassiel.
Man, I tell you what, the first hit, when all those are active, is going to be a doozy.
Mm-hmm. It sure is.
Especially if I crit.
I don't think there's anything special that I had to do for our boy Dr. Thorpe.
You're not special.
Yet.
Suck.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything special I had to do to your character sheet, so everything should be perfectly fine with him. Sorry. And then I also don't think I had anything super special that I had to do to Agent J either. But you will all notice that you do have your magic items now. And if they require attunement, I have attuned them to you because they would have been attuned. The thing for Trina, if you go into the items directory, you should be able to see your bag of holding there. It'll be in the
Where's
obtained. So it's the
items?
Items directory, and it'll be in the obtained folder.
It.
So when you open that, it's actually going to show you, like, obviously the description of what the bag does. But if you click on that little details tab, you can click and drag stuff from your character sheet into that bag. That way we know what is in the bag. Likewise, what I could do, if you don't want to do that, is I think we can just, I think I can make a custom thing on your inventory that says bag of holding, and you can just move stuff. I'm pretty sure you can move stuff from like loot into that specific container, but I don't know 100%.
Okay.
But that'll help us keep track of what is in the bag of holding and stuff like that if we need it.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't know if I made any new macros or anything for like anybody specifically. So yeah, I guess I'm still working on, I don't think a module has been created that allows me to make certain tokens only visible to certain people based on like what character you're playing. So there's places around the map that I have, hidden right now just because I don't want everybody to be like, oh, there's something over there, let's go check it out because it has to do with so and so's backstory. But eventually, hopefully, that'll come to light. I can show you privately where some of these locations that may pertain to backstory stuff in the future, if need be, or we can just find it organically as we go. But yeah, should be fine. I don't think there's anything else that I forgot to do for anyone's character specifically, but if you do find something, just send me a message on Discord and I'll work on it during the week. Otherwise, most of my time has been trying to get this map to look somewhat decent. So I guess we will go ahead and start with some recap. So last session, obviously, was session 1. Brand new characters, brand new world, kind of. Brand new locations, that's for sure. And you guys started in the classic tavern. We started with Cassiel and Dr. Giles Thorpe coming back from some random bandit camp that Cassiel was hunting down, and Dr. Thorpe was actually working with these bandits, trying to essentially make them turn over a new leaf, rethink their life decisions, and try to go about the rest of their life down a different path. Cassiel had commandeered these criminals and had brought them with him, as well as Dr. Thorpe, as they essentially had teamed up at this point. Cassiel would capture the bandits, and Dr. Thorpe would do his psychiatric work on them to try to, help them become better people. They ended up going to the nearby town of Burkton in order to cash in the bounty for these bandits, as well as to get some information on where this larger bandit camp that they've been told about, where it could be located. You guys ended up meeting the rest of the party there. First, you met Trina and Lloyd. They were already at the town of Burkton in the tavern, having probably some sort of snack or supper, something like that, as they were also traveling to who knows where. I don't believe anyone has discussed exactly where they're headed except for Lloyd. Lloyd has told you guys that he's looking for some sort of stone that he heard fell somewhere in this region within the Empire. But he doesn't have any other leads besides that. So he had no other reason but to, come and join you guys on your quest to find a larger bandit camp to rid the region of these bandits. Trina, I don't believe you exposed what you were doing in the area, but you were like, sounds like fun. I'll join you guys. I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as you guys were toasting to new friendships, new camaraderie, that's when our boy Agent J popped in through a dimension door gone wrong. At least that's what all of you told him. He pulled out this weird device and pressed the button while wearing his Ray-Bans, which it's really weird that he's got his name engraved on them, but whatever, Ray-Ban does what he does. And it didn't work, so everyone looked at him thinking that he was kind of cuckoo, but that's obviously something to do with the dimension door gone wrong. Anyway, he relaxed a bit, joined you guys for a drink, and then Clem Rivers, the proprietor of the inn here at Burkton, also viewed as the town leader, essentially, since they don't have any proper political office, I guess you would say. He pointed you in the direction of the constable, a gentleman named Avery, who is definitely not constable appropriate material. You guys tried to help him out after he locked up the bandits in essentially trying to cover up where he hides the gold that the town essentially collects where he hides the keys and things like that. But he just kept telling everybody that was around in earshot where all this stuff was. So kind of stressed you guys out. But what can you really do? You know, this isn't your town. So you guys were like, whatever. I guess maybe he'll learn the hard way. But you got the information you needed, which was where the bandit camp that you're looking for was. And it was a few days travel up the river that is north of Burkton. When it forks, you take the easternmost river path and you follow it that way. As you guys traveled, you learned a little bit more about each other. You had some good conversations, but ultimately you met two characters that seemed like they were twins, but they were definitely drunk. They had a cracked wheel that was split in two, and their cart was tipped over, and it reeked of booze in the entire area. They finished each other's sentences, and they probably let off a little more information than they intended to, thanks to the booze. But what you guys collected was that they were from the bandit camp you're headed to, that they were on their way to Burkton to procure supplies, quote unquote, and that the boss, told them to do it. Dr. Giles Thorpe was the first one to make a move and attack one of them, with Cassiel dispatching the other one after a few swings. Alfric was the final blow to the other gentleman, and both of them were killed, and you guys ended up watching as Alfric started to repair the wheel. You guys got everything cleaned up, and now you have a new cart and 2 horses, and you start making your way towards the bandit camp, which is where we will be beginning our session. As you guys start to come out of the edge of the forest and you're starting to see more of the mountainside, down this small hill, probably about 100 feet away or so, you actually see this, the bandit camp. You see it is completely encircled in long logs that are spiked at the top, forming a sort of gate at the beginning or at the entrance of this bandit camp. And on the back side, probably about 200 yards total away from where you guys currently are, you can see 3 different caves, and they're all currently lit up on the inside. And in front of these caves, you can see a large bonfire that is lit. And that is where we will begin our session. So as you guys are outside this camp, you don't really hear anything coming from the camp, except for the occasional loud crack from the bonfire, many of the logs that are starting to split and stuff from the immense heat. So what does the party wish to do?
It seems that is the location we are looking for.
Those are a bunch
I'm
of
assuming we're
caves.
just going to tell them we found this cart on the side of the road.
I think it is best to leave this cart on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And walk the rest of the way.
Agreed.
Yeah. I don't think there's going to be any reasoning with them, so I agree. Showing up in a cart that without the 2 guys and a couple scalps isn't going to be a good plan.
I'm gonna go take a closer look. Just wait for me to stand back up, I guess, and let me know if anything happens. And I sit down and I go into my owl and I start flapping away.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna look.
For Cassiel and Trina, you guys know exactly what he's doing. He's essentially transferring his consciousness to his pet owl, or his familiar rather, Frederick. And you watch as Frederick takes flight and starts to fly around, which from Frederick's viewpoint, the bandits that are currently at the gate, they are on top of the, what are they called? Fuck, I forget what they're called. I know what they're called. I just forget what they're called right now.
Ramparts.
Yeah, the ramparts. So there's currently 2 bandits that are at the ramparts right above the gate, which you can see is currently closed and locked on the on the opposite side. And they are armed. They have what looks to be light crossbows, and some type of melee weapon. But they're currently sitting there playing cards with each other. They're not really paying attention to what's going on the outside parts of the gate. More of what you see on the inside of the camp is you see that there's a few tents that are pitched. They definitely look like more camping tents, something that you would probably use for like maybe just a week-long trip or something like that. Not something that you would use for an extended amount of time just because of how fragile they look. And in the center of the bandit camp, you see the raging bonfire currently. And there's only probably about 4 bandits that are huddled around it. It looks like they are quite cold, and they're trying to stay as close to the bonfire as possible to retain some sort of heat. Have Frederick roll a perception check.
Do I? Oh, I just do a D20 because we don't have a thing for Frederick yet, I'm guessing.
You do. If you go to the tokens, player pets. So you, Kirsten, and Joe should all have a familiar in there. If you have a different picture that you would like for Frederick, you can send it my way and I can change that.
For now.
Okay, so as Frederick is flying around and looking, you can see, or Frederick and yourself, I guess, actually, both of you see that the bandits look to be in very poor condition. They look like they haven't bathed in days. Some of them you can tell just by the way that they're sort of sitting, that they're either injured in some way, shape, or form, or they're recovering from some sort of illness, just based on how they look. As Frederick flies past the bonfire and gets closer to the caves, you start to notice that your connection with him is starting to fade, aka he's getting too far away. But Frederick can see that there are these sort of, not braziers, but these torches that are outside of the cave that are kind of lighting up the inside just a little bit, but it's dark beyond what Frederick can see. But there are 3 of the caves, and they're all pretty much next to each other, probably like 20 feet in between each one of them.
Okay. And then how many people do I see again?
So far, what you've counted are 6 total bandits. You've seen quite a few, and when I say quite a few, like maybe 6 tents, and guessing they could probably hold maybe upwards to 4 people a tent, but you're not 100% sure how much they cram into those tents. You don't know if people are in there. You can't see it.
Okay, and then so we see 2 people on the ramparts or parapets on top of the gate thing they have going there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's 4 other people in the
by the bonfire.
Okay. And they're that's like 30 feet away from the gate or something?
Yeah, the bonfire is about 20 to 30 feet, somewhere in there.
Okay. Well, I relay this to everybody. Tell them that they are looking kind of gruff looking. Maybe they really need those supplies. There's 4 of them huddled around the campfire, looking pretty cold. To the gate, maybe more inside. And I see three caves. And Brady, what? So you said I have my item by chance?
Yes, you do.
Is it attached to me, or is it attached to my
It is your
fellow?
choice.
Because what we were discussing only works if it's attached to my fellow.
Yes, and that's what I assume it is, but I was going to wait to hear what you said first, so I assume that's what you want.
Yeah, and I didn't declare how many things I was going to have it save.
Yeah, you can do that now.
And how many is it? I need to see.
It can hold up to 5 levels.
5 levels. Can I just give it 2 level? So is it like 2 level 4s and 4 level 3s, or not that way?
No, it's up to 5 levels total. So if you do a level 3 and a level 2, that's the 5 levels.
Okay. I'll just.
You should be able to write in Frederick's sheet. So if you go, probably put it on the journal tab. Just type out what spells that you've put in there, and don't take off the spell slots because you would have done it during travel or probably beforehand. So
Yeah. Okay. I'll do 1 for sleep.
also, Gerald, you need to prepare 11 spells. You have 0 prepared so far. So Alfric, or not Alfric, Lloyd tells you guys exactly what he sees, and
Kroger Alfric.
Yeah, Kroger Alfric tells you exactly what he sees from Frederick's point of view. So you guys know that there are a total of 6 bandits out in the open. 2 of them are at the ramparts of the gate playing cards while huddled over a small fire, while 4 of them are at a larger bonfire.
I tell everybody I can try and put them to sleep. Would you like me to try that now? Or how would we want to go about getting to the caves?
You can attempt that. As I say that, you see me take off my my suit jacket and like neatly fold it up and put it inside my bag and start rolling up my sleeves. But best be prepared if it fails.
Of course. So Brady, you said I can have up to 5, so I can do like 1 sleep, 1 polymorph then?
No. So
Right, so-
the spell level,
Yes.
all spell levels that you put inside of the ring can only equal up to 5. So if you put a level 3 and a level 2 in there, that's 5.
Yeah,
if you put a level
1, and polymorphs 4, sleep is 1.
Okay, so yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Any people have any objections to me trying to cast sleep on them?
You think it's powerful
no.
enough to put them all to sleep?
I don't know. I mean, at least I'll try doing the gate guards. How about that?
What happens when they notice that they fell asleep?
Well, they're not really paying that much attention. But I mean, I don't have to do this. Just throw it out there.
So before, no, it's not a bad idea. Just what's next?
Get closer. I could also cast a second sleep if I get closer, because my familiar can cast one for me.
Cool. So what happens when we get closer and there's one awake or something?
Well,
we're just gonna walk through the front gate.
I was hoping you guys would come up with something for that. Somehow incapacitate them silently? I don't know. Or do you guys just want to go in guns blazing?
Part of me wants to talk to them.
Okay.
But it's honestly up to you.
I mean, what would you want to talk to them about?
See what their intentions are.
I think in this one, man, yeah, you know their intentions.
I mean, is it really necessary to kill them all, though? Can't we just make them disperse?
I'm not trying to kill him. I'm just trying to get in there, get out.
Well, from what the twins said, it sounds like the, hold up air quotes, boss would have no intention of leaving. He was the one that sent them to town, that is.
True, but are they much of anything without their boss?
Exactly. I would suggest we definitely have to put that boss to sleep.
Like a permanent sleep, or what were we talking about now?
Permanent.
Okay. So, about getting in, to not arouse suspicion, you want to talk to him, or do you want me to start casting? What would you like me to do first?
Cast, I
Okay.
suggest.
Start with the guards at
Yeah.
the gate.
Okay, so Brady, I am going to send a message to my owl that
Alright.
after, or I should say, at the same time I cast, now, I want my owl to hold his action, and if he notices that both of the front guards fall asleep, to cast sleep on the remaining 4 people outside, okay?
Okay.
And I will cast this. I will cast it at a. It increases. Oh, okay, when I increase it, it's at a higher level. So I'm going to cast it at a level 2 slot.
Alrighty.
And for me,
Nice rolls.
and then I
Okay.
guess my owl, he just does. How do I roll the owl's sleep?
Just roll a sleep on yours. Do not take a spell slot away, but roll it
Okay,
only
yeah.
at first level.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So the owl is watching the gate guards, and you walk up, and as you're casting your spell, you unleash it, and both the guards, as they're playing cards, it's only like 8 o'clock, isn't it? Oh, man. I think I'm done playing this game. You win. And one of them gets comfy in his chair, sort of leans back, and then his head drops into his chest as he starts to snore. And the other one leans over to go grab the coins that are in the middle. And as he's doing that, he actually falls over and lands onto the ground, making a little bit of a noise
Thud.
as he falls. And as that happens, Frederick finishes his spell, and all the bandits that are around the bonfire, they turn around, and as they're sort of like trying to survey the situation, they all fall asleep as well.
Cool. I relate everybody. They're all sleeping. The ones outside, at least. So,
Oh, well done.
do we want to go in, or?
Impressive.
Is
Love
that
it.
more? Do you cast that more powerful than usual? Because
Just for the front guards.
All right.
well done.
Getting that notation of it, I pull out my my sheathed blade and like take it out slightly to look at it, observe it, and then put it back and then start walking towards the camp.
I suggest we be quiet because I don't know who's in the tent sleeping. Okay.
Agreed.
Noted.
Understood.
So I start sneaking, and I do a guidance on myself to help myself sneak, Brady.
That's fine.
So anyway, I started sneaking. I'll take this opportunity to summon my familiar in the protector form.
Okay. So you guys watch as Cassiel grabs a pendant that he's got around his neck, and he mutters something under his breath, and out of the pendant you see this sort of wispy wispy ball come out, and it kind of like floats around and circles all of you on its own before landing in front of Cassiel and morphing into this sort of fox-like creature. Except for it doesn't look like a normal fox. Only in body structure does it look like a fox. Otherwise, it's like this sort of holy visage of a fox. It doesn't emit any light to it, but it does have this sort of like dull golden glow.
Think of a Patronus charm.
Exactly.
I want to pet it. But
As
I will
you-
refrain from doing so.
So as you guys start to sneak up, if you could all roll a stealth check. That's a 14.
I'm not good at this anymore.
Much stealth. Even better.
We know has rogue.
Dr. Thorpe. Okay. As you guys
So,
are walking forward, you step on quite a few branches, and when I say you, I mean Cassiel and Agent J.
Agent J starts playing his tuba.
Yeah. But as you guys are approaching and getting closer, like you can hear the snoring of the guards, and it's significantly louder than the random twig cracks. Not to mention the sound of the bonfire crackling almost masks the sound of the twig cracks. But you get over to the front gate, and it's this large, wooden structure about 15 feet tall. And Lloyd told you guys that he saw on the other side there's a large wooden beam that is essentially holding it shut. But from what you can see, you can peer through it a little bit, and you kind of like squint through the sort of cracks in between some of the logs, and you can see that everyone seems sound asleep. There doesn't seem to be any type of movement.
Interesting.
And just because it kind of matters, the current weather for today is scattered clouds, but mostly clear. And it is roughly 78 degrees Fahrenheit outside.
Very nice night. I whispered to
Really warm.
everybody, this spell's only going to last a minute. So this
Oh.
induced sleep. We got to hurry.
Just like over already.
This is not good. Okay. If we plan on sneaking, we might have to
Keep going. Let's go.
choke them out.
Does anybody have an idea to get over past the gate?
The gate is closed.
Correct.
Is it like it's high
Alright.
up?
Okay, I'm gonna say
Or-
I grab my fox and tell him to scurry over on the other side of the gate,
Okay.
and then
You guys
I
will-
say,
Go ahead.
"Giles, punch me."
Okay. So you watch as his fox goes to the one side of the gate and starts to dig, and it makes a hole that's big enough for its tiny body to scurry through, and you watch it emerge on the other side.
Hit me.
I punch him.
All right,
Hit
go
me,
ahead and
bitch.
roll
All
an
right.
attack roll.
You don't have unarmed attack, do you?
He
I
doesn't,
do
no, so
not.
it'll be a D1. So just roll the D20 and add
wait,
your...
Do we add
Actually, I guess
strength
in
modifier to this? Or
yeah, you would always add a strength modifier. So don't actually roll it, because obviously if he's gonna take it, I'm not worried about you guys like punching each other if you're
also, I
going
don't
to
want
take
to
it.
take a full. I don't know how that works. I think we should talk
If you're
about
not,
mechanics.
if you're not
before
proficient
this.
in it, it's always just a D1 plus your strength modifier.
Right, I want to take 1 damage because I'm sure that his strength modifier is high. Is that possible to limit our damage?
No.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm gonna ask someone else to do it. It's not as strong. 'Cause
I'll punch him.
Okay.
Yeah, I say, Maeve, hit me.
Okay.
All right.
What am I rolling?
You don't have to roll anything, but Cassiel,
cool.
you take 4 damage.
Okay, and then I'll use my reaction of my familiar to switch places.
So as Maeve comes in and drives it in, obviously she's trying not to hold back, but there's a otherworldly power that comes with the punch as it connects to your chest, Cassiel. And as this happens, you command your familiar to use his powers. And right before the punch connects, the moment that it touches you, all of a sudden she's punching the fox in the face. And you are on. So the fox gets slugged for 4 damage. You can deduct that on his
left.
sheet. Yeah. And then
I guess I'll pull him out.
and Cassiel poofs on, and he is now, from what you can tell and what you can hear, is he is now on the other side of the gate.
Oh,
I'll
Very
lift
little
the
one.
beam.
nifty.
I'm
Didn't
just
know you guys
looking
all had
curious.
such powerful strength mods. What's wrong with you guys?
Just because it's hilarious, Kevin has a +0 strength mod.
No way!
I was like, oh, okay.
You're not strong.
Sorry.
You're a paladin.
I mean,
Dex base.
Wait, you're a
Charisma.
paladin? You have
Dex and
0
charisma.
strength?
it's like Dex and Charisma are my thing.
I guess one thing that you guys have noticed about Giles is that he doesn't actually wear any type of armor.
Could I have hit myself?
Uh,
Because if I could hit myself, I'd heal myself.
Too late.
for the item, you cannot hit yourself to activate it.
Totally understandable. That's so cheating. But anyways, I remove the beam. Oh, actually, I do have a question before we move on. I have a -2 to strength. What if I hit someone?
Then it would be, I don't think it would do any damage, so it would pretty much not be an attack. If you're doing it unarmed, of course. But let me look it up, because I'm pretty sure you always
They don't
add
heal 'em for
modifiers,
one?
and yeah, it would not heal, it just wouldn't do anything.
a wet slapping sound.
Yeah, exactly. It's a wet noodle.
It's literally like
It'll be
hitting
a-
someone with a tissue.
It'll be a very dexterous lab slap.
Well, damn, that was a mistake. But
Sorry, I'm so strong.
yeah, what the hell?
You should let me.
Did you come in here? I'll do it with your +3, scumbag. We have 2 other wizards.
I'm sorry. I had assumed the paladin would have more strength. I didn't realize his stuff was in other
I didn't
things.
realize yours was gonna be a +3.
Yeah. I got really good
I
rolls,
saw your
okay?
roll.
she's a
What
very
am I-
swole woman. She's
God
a
damn it.
Angelica version 2.
I mean, if you're
I'll
going to be
remember
wielding
it.
a two-handed scythe, you got to have relatively decent strength.
Not wrong.
Noted.
Yeah, I'll remember that.
Anyway, so Cassiel, you are on the other side of the gate now, and you see in front of you a large wooden beam. It doesn't look like it's too particularly heavy, even with your abysmal strength score.
That's good. I would like to remove it from the gate and.
I
start to
opened it,
open the gate.
Leon.
So you guys hear Cassiel on the other side as he starts to heave it, and you can hear it sliding out of place, and he takes it down and puts it to the side. It's probably about 5 feet long. So I don't know, 5x2, 5x1, I guess. 5x1. And you lift it up, and the gates kind of like start to sway a little bit after you take that off, showing that they are free to move.
Cool. I'm gonna walk through the gate.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna
follow.
do now?
I'll say
Find
this whole
the leader.
transaction
Knock
has
these guys
taken 30 seconds.
Should we run and knock those guys out while they're asleep?
Just let them sleep. Let's just go in and deal with it later.
I mean, I could. I think I could. I mean, I don't know how long it's gonna take, but we could put them underground.
No, that's gonna take too long.
Way too long.
We should just go inside.
All right, let's go.
Let's find the leader. Deal with him accordingly.
So as you guys start going through the camp, obviously I would think that you're checking around everything. You sneak a peek inside of some of the tents and notice that they are completely empty, and each of them have a single sleeping bag. So as you move onto the other side of the bonfire and get close to the 3 caves, you're looking them over, and none of them look any different from each other except for their correlation to each other. So obviously you have the left, the right, and the middle.
Let's go left.
All right. Yeah, I'll check middle. I'll go towards the middle.
Okay. So Cassiel and I believe the rest of the gang go left, and Thorpe goes into the middle.
I'll join Thorpe so he has some backup.
Okay. So Trina and Thorpe go in the middle. The rest of you go to the left. As you're going and as you're walking towards the cave, because of how the light from the torches is placed, you notice that you can't see, even with your dark vision, you can't see beyond until you match the threshold of those. Oh? Have you ever walked towards floodlights and you're like squinting to see what the hell's on the other side?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. It's a physics effect.
I still disagree. No, just kidding.
I
So
don't
as
know
you
how it
guys-
works, but Devil Sight seems special over Dark Vision.
Yeah, true. Anyway, as you guys get that threshold, you can start to see inside of the cave. For those of you that went on the left, you can see a bunch of boxes that are, some of them are empty. You can see that they are turned over. Nothing is inside of them. You see a bunch of hay and hay bales that look to be used to pack supplies and keep them from breaking during transport. And then you see some of the crates that are sealed shut with nails and stuff like that. And then you see what looks to be a bunch of glass bottles all stacked upon each other. And there's probably about 30 of them.
So 30 bottles just inside.
Correct.
Which way do they go again?
You guys went left.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you guys are looking at this, Thorpe and Trina, why the fuck is your... Oh, you're talking and... I was like, why the fuck is there this random ass symbols?
Set on that one.
That's funny. Anyway, as Thorpe and Trina start to walk in towards the second one, you see that it goes further. I believe both of you have dark vision, right? No, Thorpe does not. But Trina does. So Trina can see about 60 feet in, and Thorpe, all you can really see is what is emitted from the light. But it's not very far before you see a gentleman that's dressed in very fine clothes approaching you. That's really funny.
Is that how you would make it
That
sound?
was defaulted to
Probably.
Abyssal.
So
Wait,
anyway,
can you guys read that?
only
I
if you
can.
know Abyssal.
Oh. I'm surprised someone else knows it.
So as Trina and Dr. Thorpe are walking into the second one, you see, oops, hold on. This is not the token that I want. That should be it. Oh, his token's all jacked up. You see this man approaching you. He is wearing fine garments. He has a walking stick that's obviously decorated, not because he needs its assistance, but because of its sort of fashion qualities, I guess you would say. And he starts to walk towards you. Ah, yes, I was wondering how long it would take you all to get here.
So,
Hello?
you were expecting us.
Very much so, for a few days, actually. The name is Saxon. I would grab your comrades and bring them this way. We have much to discuss.
Trina, could you go retrieve the others?
I'll send Beltran.
Okay. Beltran unperches from Trina's shoulder, flies over to the rest of the party, because they're about 30 feet away or so, and starts to squawk. And lands on Lloyd's shoulder and starts to squawk in his ear, and then starts to fly back to the middle cave.
I look to everybody else and say, I think he wants us to follow him.
Alrighty then.
I also ready to say, but I guess just keep my familiar with me as well.
Okay. Let me see if... Okay, that fixed it. It had a weird overlay on the backside. I didn't like it. So you guys start to walk that way, and as you come to the opening of that cave, you start to hear loud yawning coming from the bonfire. Do not worry about them. Honestly, misplaced spells, but that's all perfectly fine. Should make our conversation a little easier, knowing that you have a little less firepower. And he throws up his stick and grabs it in the middle. Follow me, if you would, and starts to twirl it in the air and start walking deeper into the cave. And as you look behind you, the bandits are starting to wake up, and they glance over at you guys and rub their eyes, and you can just see the pitiful look on their faces as they stare at you. But then they pay you no heed, and they go back to the bonfire to get warm. So as you guys start to walk in, he only takes you probably 30 feet or so, and then it opens into a larger cavern, which you can see a dimly lit fire that's right next to a large table. And he starts to approach the table. He gets on the other side of it, and he points to the other side of the table where there are 5 chairs specifically right in front of it. Please, come, have a seat. We have, like I said, business. And he essentially moves the sort of... I don't know what you'd call it. It's not a cape, but his coat bottom, and then he takes a seat onto a wooden chair.
Giles stands and looks at him for a brief second in very Mads Mikkelsen fashion, and then, like, with a slight smirk on his face, just walks towards the chair and sits down and neatly places his blade against the table.
He eyes you as you do this. I know why you've come. I know exactly what you intend to do. You see, and he sort of leans onto one elbow that's he places onto the table. I have been granted the gift of foresight, you see. I knew a group such as yourselves would be here any day now to take everything that I have achieved away from me. But I cannot simply let that happen, no. So I hope that these negotiations might open your eyes, broaden your horizons, if you will, perhaps even make you rich. You do want to be rich, do you not? Everyone likes coin.
I cannot say I care much for fortune. I care more about the curiosities of the human mind. as I am a psychiatrist.
Yes, and don't you think that perhaps with the proper funds, you could make your own psychiatrist clinic? Think about it. Dr. Giles Thorpe, extraordinaire. Or perhaps maybe healer of all. I don't know exactly what you would call yourself or what titles you would give, but the world could be yours. And he points down to the table, I'm almost certain with your capabilities and your credentials, everyone would come to see Dr. Thorpe.
Indeed.
Especially with the work that you had done. What was it called again? At Dayspring Psychiatric Hospital. You're quite far from home.
Right. There's only so much that that institution could give me.
Yes.
Why I decided to become an adventurer. See the brighter future of other cities. Meet more people. Discover the minds of others. Turn them into something of a good citizen.
And he points at you. Bingo. And that's exactly what you could do with an exorbitant amount of funding and capital to back it up. So now we know Dr. Thorpe, and he points to the next person in line. We'll just say that it's Lloyd. And you're a curious one. I had a very hard time discovering much of your history. In fact, it's almost as if you've never existed. Where are you from, Lloyd?
Oh, a place like everybody else's. How about you? Where are you from?
Dodging the question. I like your style. But I will be forthcoming in this information. I actually come from the capital city, from a wealthy family, the Carlyle family. You have heard of the Empire's capital, have you not?
Yes, I believe my character would.
Roll a history check based on where you're
Okay.
from.
Where's my story? Lit.
Yes, you have heard of it. So you know that the Empire that you guys are currently in, the Thurian Empire, you know that their capital is called Krayat, which I will
Okay.
spell that out for you.
Cool.
And I will also reveal it onto the world map
Yeah.
for when we get back there. So yes, you know where I'm from. I still don't know where you are from, but that doesn't even matter, really, because I know what it is that you seek.
Oh,
You're
you do
looking
now?
for a stone fallen from the stars, are you not?
That would be an accurate statement, I would say.
That is why the folks of Burkton sent you this way. They happen to know that I have information. And they did
mention
you.
this.
They did you right. I do know where this stone could be. At least a better answer than somewhere in the region. Like those masked men gave you. Remember that. And he points at you, and as he's staring at you, remember that. And then he goes to the next person. Trina, dear Trina. You are a curiosity and a marvel to behold in person, might I tell you? Is she still AFK?
You cut out.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Am I cutting out really bad? Because I've noticed that my OBS stopped streaming for a second.
You're good.
Okay.
No, it was just like for a couple minutes while you were doing the intro for me.
Oh, gotcha. So he points to you and says, Trina, you are a marvel to behold in person. I will tell you, the foresight does not do you justice whatsoever.
Well, unfortunately, flattery won't really get you very far with me.
No, but what if I could lead you to Mal?
And who would that be?
It's Malachi, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to pretend to be dumb, though.
Oh, don't play fool for me. I know you know of Mal. Or should I call him Malachi?
Well, from what I know, only his closest friends call him Mal, so... And I don't think I've ever seen you or met you before.
That is both true and a good point. I've never met any of you or the folks that you've trained with, nor have I met those goddesses you serve. Scary bunch they are, yes, yes. I would not want to be on the receiving end of whatever it is that they have to deal. But that's why we're doing these negotiations. I can help you find Mal and find your purpose from your goddesses. Keep that in mind. And he winks at you. And as his finger guides, or is guided to the next person, Cassiel.
She makes a face.
And you, Cassiel. Your purpose. And he starts to scratch his head. It eludes me. I don't actually know what you want. I think you want to help people. I think you want to end my business, as he holds his hands up and sort of looks around the cave. But I don't know exactly what for. We've never done anything to you. But I have everything to offer you, that's for sure. That money that I was talking about to your friend Dr. Thorpe, I could grant you the same thing. And you could use that to fund churches or help the needy. Perhaps make a soup kitchen. I've heard that they are on the rage these days.
It does not surprise me that my intentions elude you.
I turn my head and look at Cassiel.
The means are not always justified by the end.
Excellent. Perhaps I have something for you yet. But more on that in a second. I'm more curious about this fellow. And he points to Agent J. You are the only one that I could not foresee. You are the only one that I still cannot see any history about. And there's this essence to you. Something different, vastly different from any organism that is on this planet currently. Where are you from, might I ask?
And so you just see Jay just kind of get full of himself a little bit, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's what the ladies always said. There was something interesting about me." But hold on, what were you saying?
Where are you from, might I ask?
You wouldn't know if I told you, but Manhattan.
And he's got this puzzled look. Is that a fictional place, perhaps, written in a book?
I mean, no, not at all. Maybe, let's see, what would it be? Again, New York, home of the Knicks. Maybe you know the Knicks. Or maybe you're a football fan. The Giants?
And he kind of shakes his head. He says, I am familiar with Giants, yes, but I do not know what a football is.
I forgot. Never mind. Yeah, but I'm around. I'm from around, I guess.
So Maeve, or Trina, based on your history check, you have heard of a family known as the Carlyles, which is what he introduced himself as. And they are from where he said they are from, but you don't know what their dealings were or anything like that. You don't know the complete history of it.
Okay.
And Lloyd spoke in common, which I'm almost certain all of you should be able to speak.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, apparently I can't.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Wait, that weird script is supposed to be common?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what? What is that?
Can you read
Now I
mine?
can. Yeah, I can read
Yeah.
yours now.
I
Yeah, I don't
read
know
both of
why
the
his
things
is
that
like
you
that.
said.
Let's see.
But Cassiel knows Elvish too, so that's funny.
I know well, no, I don't. Well, no, yeah.
Oh. For some reason, there it is. For some reason, Alfric's languages didn't translate over to our boy Lloyd. So I need to change that real quick. Anyway, he goes, well, now that we've all been introduced, let us go over why it is that you've come here today. For I do not believe it is a secret. You've come here to stop me. You've come here to kill my people, my group. This I cannot allow. These are folks that have worked tirelessly for me for decades. I cannot let you tarnish their good name and their good nature. Even though the things that they do may be shady, they are kind-hearted people, I assure you. So I'm hoping perhaps maybe this negotiation, you giving us another chance, so a chance to move forward in a more productive manner. You turn the other cheek, and I will guide you to the location that you need dearest currently.
How is it that someone from the noble Carlisle family ended up running a bunch of hooligans out in the middle of nowhere?
Nothing gets past you, does it, Trina? Yes, my family history is a little dicey, I'll be honest. As you probably know, or are about to, the Carlisle family owned a mining town north of the Empire capital. But over the course of the years, after it had changed ownership to a new proprietor, there was a revolt, and the ownership of that town was stolen from my family. Ashamed, my parents liquidated their assets and hit the road, and I haven't seen them since. It's been 20, 30 years maybe? Honestly, I don't really care, because they forgot me, and I'm not very happy about it at all. In fact, and he bends forward a little bit, if you have any information on them, I would pay handsomely for it. But that's a whole different contract. No. And he leans back and gets, brings his cane up and puts it across his lap and kind of puts a little pressure on it. No, I had to make my own name for myself. And what better way to do that than to bootleg booze? And I don't know if you remember the two gentlemen you killed out in the forest, but they had been drinking heavily. Did you perhaps save a bottle or two for your own pleasure?
Dave currently,
It was all gone.
at the time, drank the last bit.
How about this? And he stands up and he goes to a little bit back into the cave, and you hear him messing around with some bottles, and he picks one up and looks at it. Ah, yes, this is a 5-year-old one. And he brings it over, puts it on the table. My treat for giving me this complimentary, or for hearing me out on what I have to say before you start slaughtering my folks. And he pushes it forward. Go on, it's delicious.
I grab the bottle and observe it.
And it is a dark bottle. From what you can tell, it is a dark liquid on the inside. It matches exactly, or the exact bottle description of what you had found a couple hours prior.
Can I open it up and smell it?
Yep, and it smells strong. It smells really strong.
Perhaps may I ask, what is in this counterfeit liquor that you are creating?
We call it whiskey. And it's something a little different from the ale or the wine that you're used to in taverns. It's a lot more, it's a lot stronger, a lot more potent. And with less of it, it'll get you drunker faster.
It's quite the interest.
Yeah, he's not lying about that.
Oh,
Not-
you know
not that I would
whiskey?
know. Yeah, no, not that I would know.
Very well.
I'm not much of a one to taste on a job. I do apologize. And I put the bottle back on the table.
Well then, take it for your own pleasure when you're not working. Because I know you like a drink, don't you, Dr. Thorpe?
Every once in a while, I would have a glass. But that's all. Try not to indulge in the poisons. Lead you to places that you would rather not be into.
Very well, I understand. But I'm telling you, have a rough day, go home, kick your feet back, and take a sip of that, all your worries melt.
I slide the bottle over to slide the bottle over to Lloyd. Maybe you should have a taste.
He is still AFK, I believe.
All right, Redcon. I slide it over to Trina. Maybe you should have a taste.
I'll pass, but thank you.
Oh, is anyone going to try it? It offends me, really, that you wouldn't even give it a taste. Very simple.
I'm not one to pass up some good liquor.
Perhaps have him try it first, though.
I pass it over to. I slide the bottle over to Cassio. Then, my friend, be my guest.
And as Trina says that, Saxon stands up and he stabs his cane to the ground. You think I would poison my esteemed guest with a 5-year-old whiskey? Actually,
Yeah.
that would be very smart. But I'm
It
not
would
here to try to kill you. No, I know my limits. We do not have the firepower. In fact, I'm almost certain that with a single spell, you could kill all of us really fast, really quickly. That is why we are negotiating instead of fighting.
Who, me?
Perhaps, or maybe Lloyd, or maybe Dr. Thorpe, maybe even Cassiel. Agent J, with his essence about him, I'm sure have some tricks up his sleeve.
I have a question, if you would indulge me.
Yes, that is why we are talking.
What is your intentions with the nearby town?
Ah. Well, if it wasn't obvious already, I have been doing this for a few decades, as I have stated. We go to the towns, we sell our booze, and we come back with a small fortune, of course. No one's ever seen or tasted anything like this stuff, so they will pay handsomely for it. In the meantime, we also pick up provisions to help us last through the winters, as well as to make more of it. The people love it. In fact, I know they love it because of the work we do. They've never told the Crown, because the Crown has not shown up at my doorstep to take me out of business. Which is why, when I foresaw your coming, I was concerned, to say the least. Perhaps even terrified.
And yet they call this place a bandit camp.
Hmm.
I'm assuming that
Bandits.
there's other side things that happen besides selling your liquor.
And he shrugs. He's like, what my men do on their personal time is none of my business.
But you do know that there are punishments for such actions, correct?
And
They call
at this,
they call you boss. They work for you.
so
You're
he
accountable.
he slides in his chair to where now he's sort of in profile, with his left shoulder to you guys, and he turns his head to you, Dr. Thorpe. I may be aware of some of their dealings with the nearby settlements, but I still do not see anyone coming to deal with it. Not until now.
Well, perhaps you should be dealing with it, and then we wouldn't have had to come and deal with it.
I do not believe that your intentions were as just as you like to make them seem. You did not come
True.
all this way to just stop me. No. You came here because it was good for you. I have something you need, and you could make a little extra coin on the side for taking my folks out. But I'm telling you, if it's coin you're interested in, I can give you more than those shit towns can.
I'm not sure who you speak for, but you're not speaking for me.
You are the exception, though, Cassiel. But in any good old group, majority does rule, does it not? And he holds out his arms, kind of like in a that pose in Dark Souls. I forget which one, but Jeff knows what I'm talking about.
Another question.
Go for it.
Your goons that drank all of your revenue mentioned something about you having to feed a monster.
Ah, yes. The Beast. We call him royalty around here. He lives a little bit west of here, probably about half a day's journey. But my folks do apprehend a few cows or so from the nearby towns on their way out to feed it. You could say that we are doing our due diligence to protect these towns, for if we weren't here to deal with the beast, no one would be, and it would surely terrorize the entire countryside. So you see...
What is this beast? What does it look like?
Have you ever seen a griffin?
Have we?
All of you can roll a nature check. No.
Damn.
Yes.
Nature.
Yes.
Nature.
Hello, my name's Nietzsche, and I'm a bear.
He just shows up.
Hey, oh,
You
at least I
mean
come in
one
the
of
wrong
those
area.
fox lion or fox horse or eagle horse things? That's what this is all about.
Yes, exactly. With us feeding that beast, it has no care in the world. It gets fat and happy, and it lives its life away in solitude. It's perfect.
And why don't you deal with it?
As I have told you, you all are more than capable of killing us with a single spell. If we were to fight it, I would not have a business model anymore. I probably would lose my own life, and I am not giving that up to some beast.
At this moment, Giles leans in and attempts to look him in his eyes, and ask him, "So, what is it that you fear?"
What is it that I fear, you say? And he leans in to match your gaze. I don't really fear anything. Right now, I fear losing my entire business.
But with this business, couldn't you move it elsewhere?
Oh, I'm sure I could. But why? It's so lucrative at the location that it's at. I have established myself as the only seller of this liquor. No one else has even tried to come close to my recipe. And I've been making a killing. Oh, I know what you're saying. I could take that money and probably spend it elsewhere. But perhaps maybe I already am.
Well, one thing I will have to say. You would have to have a leash on those men out there. It would be a really big problem if a casualty or a few casualties were to happen tonight.
Yes.
We would want to avoid that.
Yes, it would. I 100% agree. Which is why I'm hoping that perhaps me having the information that you all seek will be an equivalent exchange for leaving my encampment alone. I'll even top the offer, and I'll give you an entire case of my whiskey. You can keep the cart that you took from my 2 men, and the horses, and you can stay here for the night. I will provide you food, shelter, water, booze. A good night's rest before you start on your journey.
At that moment, Giles leans back, relaxes in the chair, and rests his hand on the top of his blade, just relaxing, just chilling out, and just says to the rest of the party, "I have no reason. I don't care for riches. In all honesty, my studies is all that matters. It is honestly up to you, lot, to figure out what will be the best option."
I really just want the thing that fell from the sky. If I'm going to be quite honest.
I found it.
What the?
Getting rid of the Snoop Dogg in the background and stuff, but yeah, just the hand motion.
That
Yeah,
really
the
makes
hand
it,
motion.
though.
It's so fast.
But I really just want the thing that fell from the sky.
Lloyd gets it. I knew you would be the voice of reason.
Trina?
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily want to go around slaughtering a bunch of people. So, I mean, if you can make concessions for actually caring and preventing your people from doing things outside of your quote-unquote business plans that hurt the towns.
Oh, no.
Then-
It does anything but hurt the towns. In fact, all of my folks are pacifists. They do not fight. I don't believe they've held a blade up to any of those town folks. They're perfectly safe. It's just sometimes things go missing. Very
Pointed
strange.
crossbows at us.
And he shrugs his shoulders. That's very strange, actually. Well, it must have been in self-defense. They will do self-defense.
So it sounds like you don't want to take accountability for your employees.
He kind of just looks at you. He's like, I don't see why I should have to.
Because
Nobody's-
the towns hired us to take care of them.
Did they, though? Or was it just Clem Rivers telling you of our location, hoping that you would do some good for him? Do you know
Well, it
that
certainly
Clem
sounds
Rivers
like he needed it.
and I have an exclusive contract?
Here's one for you. You pay your people, right? That's the only reason why they sell your whiskey.
Yes.
So, if you told them you wouldn't pay them if they didn't do anything illegal, then they probably wouldn't do anything illegal, huh?
Well, here's the thing. If I told them don't do anything illegal, they could not sell my whiskey. We do not have a
Right.
liquor license.
Get one.
It's not that simple.
Do it.
He sighs and starts to stroke his forehead. I can't. I have tried and I have been declined. But my business must stand. I will make a name for myself where the Carlyle family could not. And I will not
Using the
quit.
black market.
And he points at you, kind of, except for we're selling to honest folk. And if you have a problem with me selling it, there should also be an equal problem with them buying it, should there not? I believe there's a double standard being held here, and you can see he's getting a little agitated.
I don't disagree.
I am not the issue here. If anything, they are the issue. They are the ones that are supplying me with the means to continue my business. So maybe we should go talk to them. Huh? And you can see that he realizes that he just let himself go a little bit in a fit of passion, and he sort of straightens himself up. I apologize. I do not know what came over me. I'm very, very concerned of your presence, is all.
You should be.
Agent J. As I'm like still staring at him, I'm like, what would you think?
Yes, what do they do in Manhattan?
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, without that, I guess where I'm from, you gotta have a liquor license to sell. So, if you don't have one, that's technically illegal. So you could get arrested for that.
I've been doing it for 30 years or so. The Crown has never come by asking, and I know they know of my location. I don't believe that they're too worried about it. It seems to be only the towns. Did Clem tell you that he's reached out to the Crown before? Multiple times, in fact. In assistance with dealing with us.
He
And-
did mention it.
Yes, and even though he's been doing it for decades, they have never sent anyone. They've never sent a single person. Not a messenger, not any sort of military folk, no soldiers, nobody. Which to me means they do not see it as a noticeable threat.
Then they would give
To
you a liquor
me,
license.
that means that the money that you've been spending has been spent to pay someone off to prevent them from coming to shut down your.
Do you think I would abuse my old contacts like that?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, we don't
And
know you.
he shrugs and he's like, well, you're absolutely correct, yes. And it's working, which means that somebody likes what I'm doing. So, herein lies a bigger issue, does it not? And he sits back very comfortably. I think that I'm not the problem, I am the scapegoat, and I am being accused of foul play. Irrelevant. This whole thing.
How so? Your people
Well-
are stealing things.
But are they really?
You just said they were. Wherever they go to sell your liquor, things disappear.
What if I told you that we are selling our alcohol at a discounted rate? So, to make up the means to get us back to cost, we might take a few things without the owner's knowledge. But it does equate to the same value, I guarantee it.
The value that you put on your liquor
A value that they have made for
on
themselves.
a new product that is unregulated, and
It is
so
not new.
you have the only market, so you're able to dictate the price.
Precisely. I don't know what I would call it, but I am the sole proprietor of whiskey in this world, and God's...
So you're determining the price without having the customers pay it.
Y'all don't have a liquor store down the street or something? Like, what's really going on?
There are plenty of distilleries across the land, but none of them have this quality product. Can you imagine spending 5 gold pieces in an attempt to forget your cheating wife, but you cannot find the essence of being drunk after those 5 gold pieces are spent? Whereas with my whiskey, 1 cup is all you need, and your sorrows are forgotten for the night. And you still have a bottle left. Don't you think that people would love to be able to taste this exquisite liquid?
Totally, but get a liquor license.
There's no
Yeah,
need.
Your price and stop stealing things.
Yeah, I don't see where you're going with this.
He shakes his head. We are not here to talk my business model. We are here to negotiate you leaving my encampment in peace, and I give you the information of the location that you are searching for. He points to Lloyd. You're looking for some fallen star. You're looking for a group that has stopped believing in their gods, as he points to Trina. He points to Dr. Thorpe. You are looking for some weird dude I don't know what either of you are looking for, but you will find it if I give you the information, of course. But you have to promise me you will not slaughter my people. And after all, do you think a life is really worth it? You taking a life, what gives you the right? Where's your license to kill?
The law.
I use my plaintiff background to like explain the reasonings behind the law and how everything he's doing is completely illegal, using all these big law-based words.
Okay. So you do that and he looks to you? Yes, but where in the law does it say that it is the right to kill people for those acts? I don't think
I pull out my
so.
bounty sheet. This one right here, signed by the crown.
It's
That
actually not
happens.
signed by the crown. It is signed by Avery, the constable.
Signed by Avery, the constable, the law figure.
And he takes a look at it. He puts on some spectacles, and as he reads it, I imagine that you met with this Avery fellow, did you not?
Unfortunately, he's the law.
Did you know that his chest has a false bottom to it?
He's also
Unfortunately, he showed us.
Did you know that his keys, the smallest one, opens that
We know,
chest?
God. We know, God. We know everything. We know.
As he's saying that, Giles crosses his legs.
Now, what type of power does this man really hold if he doesn't even have the decency to keep his secrets? He has spoken about these things that are necessary to the betterment of his town, yet he speaks of them openly to all newcomers. Why do you think he gets robbed so often? Not even by my people, mind you. The traveling merchants steal from them. I've seen it.
Let's also talk about that you're also illegally selling liquor and stealing from people because of... No, I'm not buying it.
You sound like this dude I know from... Well, never mind. You don't know where it is.
No, I do not know of Manhattan. But I'm telling you, I'm not at fault here. The proper people have given me the go-ahead to continue with my business, otherwise they
No.
would send official forces, not some ragtag
you
group
tried to
that
get
just
a liquor
met.
license and you didn't get one. Those would be the proper people. They said no.
Well, a liquor license is only truly needed if you have an establishment. I can trade it to folks. They can buy it and sell it in the taverns where they have a liquor license. There. And he puts his hand on, or he puts one finger on the table. Now, can we get back to business?
But you're not.
Yeah, like you're bypassing that. I'm confused.
Have you
shakes
ever
his head.
thought about just purchasing the town that stupid mayor's in? I mean, that stupid sheriff's in?
Constable.
Why
Or
would
just
I
setting up
buy
shop
that
there.
piece of shit town?
So that you can actually establish a business, own the town, you know, regain your noble family's heritage or
Think
whatever.
about it.
And
The
then,
Carlisle name dies with my folks.
so
I
what
am
do you
making
change
a new
your
name.
to then?
But
The
think
name
about
doesn't
it.
matter.
For
Well,
you
it
to
might.
increase your glory, or so to say, that you're pursuing and proclaiming everything, the fortunes and having this successful liquor business, whiskey, you were to say, wouldn't it be beneficial for you to have a town in your pocket that you can build that business?
Why would I
Legitimately?
take one town when I have the entire region?
But that town could be a stool.
That's how you grow.
I do not need to talk
Legitimately?
my business model with you all, and I do not care if it is legitimate or foul play. I am making the money
You're,
that my parents
offering
could
me
not.
nothing, and I'm the one that cares, I guess.
You are
Sounds like
right.
You do need to talk
And he
about your
he points a finger at you and starts to sort of like wag it up and down. And as he looks around, you are right. So how about I sweeten the deal? And he pulls out a piece of parchment and he folds it out, or unrolls it rather. And you can see a map of the region, which all of you have, except for Agent J, are somewhat familiar with how the continent looks. As you know, Burkton is there. We are here. Capital's there. And there are many, many crossroad towns in between the capital and Burkton. What if I told you that if you do not accept my offer, that I will be forced to tell my men that they are to go to one of these smallest settlements, probably 15 folks or so that live there, slaughter every single one of them, take their remains, convert them into meat pies, sell those with the booze, have a feast at all the nearby settlements, and then we will plant the evidence necessary to show that these towns are practicing cannibalism. The Crown will take notice. The Crown will send their inquisitors. These settlements will be burnt. The folks will be burnt at the stake. The soil will be salted and condemned, never to be used as a settlement again. How about that for you, Cassiel?
All that for some damn liquor?
I mean, I feel like you're just losing out on business at that point.
There's business
Beltran
elsewhere.
kind of makes an angry squawk, and I say, well, you know, that sounds more of like a threat that I don't really appreciate.
And he starts to roll up the town or the region map. And as he's standing up, there's like a shadow that's cast on his face as he kind of looks down at all of you. Perhaps, maybe it is.
Giles, at that moment, smiles and closes his eyes. So, what is it that we're doing here now, then?
I don't know. And he leans back and he puts all his fingertips together as he looks at all of you, and without moving his head is fixated on Giles, but he's shifting his eyes to each of you. What is our agreement then?
I think it's unfortunate that you told me that.
Giles stands up and grabs his blade and is like, I feel it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Likewise, Mr. Thorne.
Hold on, what, hold on, what just happened? What's going on?
I suggest you stand up. Trina gets up too.
Hold on, what? No, like, and I stood to kind of back up and stand up and back up a little bit.
And he continues to sit down. It seems that we have come to an impasse. For whatever reason, your judgment cannot be swayed. And he claps. Kudos to you for trying to do the right thing, but to the wrong people. Have your bloodthirsty bloodbath. Do what you will. But let it weigh on your hearts heavily that you are disrupting the economy of this location. I will not fight back. My men are in no condition to fight back. They are merciful. They are at your mercy.
Good. So then you don't mind going to jail then?
I will not be going anywhere.
Well, you said you're at our mercy, so I don't think you really have a choice.
And at that moment, he takes a dagger out of his pocket and he holds it against his chest.
You okay there, buddy?
I would kindly ask that you leave, do your business elsewhere, otherwise we will go forward as you wish.
I just want to know where the thing's at that fell from the sky. That's all I'm here for.
I'm
She
gonna
kinda
cast
looks at him
Detect
coldly
Thought
and-
on him.
Yeah, I have my hands behind my back, just observing him.
What did Cassiel say?
I look at him and I say,
I would like to cast Detect. thoughts.
Detect thoughts.
I have never cast a spell. Shut up, Charlie.
So when you cast it, you'll just have it consume the spell slot and click cast spell. So let's see. So let's see. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on the mind at the moment. So with that, let's see, do they do the save? You probe deeper, they make a wisdom save. Okay, that's your, as an action after you cast it, you would do that. Because this takes a action to do. So as you cast the spell, he looks at you and you can hear his thoughts. Cassiel, all I want is for you to leave me alone.
I'm more. I ask. So as I cast it, I ask, how will you, or has the order been given?
And you hear in his thoughts, he says, not just yet, but he looks at you and he says, in a moment it will be. And unfortunately, there's no way for you to stop me. And you hear in his thoughts, laughter. Laughter of a different tone.
Shut up, Charlie.
I will not shut up. I'm just joking.
I say, can you refrain? This is out loud, because I can't. I'm not like telepathically talking to him. It's like, will you be able to? You know what? Here's my deal. You start adhering to the law, increase your sale price, people will buy it, and I will let you live.
I will work on it. That is all I can do.
And if I were to hear...
What do I detect in his thoughts? Is that truly his intention, or?
No, it's not at all.
Not his intention at all?
Correct.
That's unfortunate.
Cassiel, what do you think? And I'm still staring at him.
And Saxon is looking at Cassiel too, and you hear a thought in his mind. It sure would be a shame if the White Ghost were to be given information about this group of magic users, using their magic on poor old Saxon.
How are you able to communicate so easily?
What do you mean?
How are you going to give that order, and I can't stop you?
Oh, I have things in place should things turn awry. Like I told you, I was gifted foresight. I knew this was coming. I've had days to prepare.
So what you are saying...
Are they saying this out loud, or is this in their head?
I'm
still?
talking.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's saying.
He's saying out loud.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I need to ask you if he's being honest, or because I'm reading
his thought process that you can hear because of your spell is simply laughter. You think your spell's going to work anymore? No, I've caught on to you. The White Ghost will be after you before not. Should you leave this location in shambles? That would be much worse than meat pies, I guarantee it. And this is all in his head as he's staring at you. I'm aware of magic.
Power of foresight.
And he looks over to you. That is not really part of our negotiations now, is it? Perhaps maybe if we were to go down a different route, we could have become business partners. But I can see that your intentions do not align with mine, and I do not believe it would ever work. And Kasaya, you can see a image of a woman in his thoughts. I don't have a token for it yet, but I will, and I'll show it to you once I get it. But she is essentially blindfolded as he's saying this to Trina.
Do I recognize this person?
No, not at all.
Okay. I telepathically ask Hrothgarm, what do you think of this situation?
This is very difficult. He is doing bad things, but the law of the land is not necessarily the law of your gods. You have to figure out which one means more. Do you take the life of those that do not mean any harm to people physically? Or do you wish to cleanse the land of all evils, no matter how small? These are questions that only you can answer yourself, Cassiel. But I am here to guide you. Either way, your sword will be just.
I give him a little thank you. I put my hand on Guile's shoulder and I say, I think we have to let this one go.
And as he does that, I'm still staring at him, and I just answer in a very dull voice, "Are you sure?"
And you watch as Saxon sheaths the blade. Excellent.
No, I'm not sure.
Very well.
But I can't condemn people to cannibalism and meat pies because someone's taking a cow for a griffin. Just doesn't seem worth it in the grand scheme of things.
And you hear from your spell inside of his head.
Very well. And take my blade from the little cane position that I had it in, and just hold it from the middle end of it.
Well then, are we in agreement? I give you the information to your next location. You leave me and my folks and business alone.
I'm okay with this. I've been okay with this.
All in favor?
We want a pact.
And he,
we want a pact that you and your people will not tell the White Ghost about.
Oh, yes, simply. That was not part of the negotiation anyway. I have no reason to use that anymore.
In your threats, though.
And you put threats of ending my entire business for no legitimate reasons. I think we're on even footing
Except
here.
for the fact that your business is illegitimate.
So is the mass murder of a group.
True.
While that conversation's going on,
murdering them.
while that this conversation's going on, you see Giles pull out his suit jacket again, unroll his sleeves, and then neatly put it on. Start buttoning the buttons.
Well,
Fixing his tie.
all in favor of our agreement, raise your hand. And Saxon raises his hand.
I raise my hand.
Excellent, Lloyd.
Giving him, like, raising an eyebrow, I raise my hand as well.
Doctor, I knew I could count on you.
I
That's
kind
how I
of
feel.
look at Beltran, and then I just nod my head.
Beltran raises a wing. I don't think the bird counts.
My owl
All right,
raises
if
its
you're
wing as
not
well.
offering me information, how much gold can you offer me?
The information is what you all get. This is what you wanted. This was part of my negotiation. You said you didn't want gold. I remember that. You declined my business
that's
agreement.
interesting. Well, I changed my mind. So how about we renegotiate as we're...
We are
I
taking
don't
a
know if you've
vote.
noticed.
And so
yeah.
far, we are halfway there. More than halfway there. We need one more agreement. In agreement. Agent J,
This doesn't affect me really either way, so I don't.
then raise
I'm
your
just
hand,
gonna-
Agent J.
No, I'm just gonna stay neutral on this one, buddy.
Hey, Giles, put your goddamn hand down.
Trina.
Jade looks at Giles.
Trina, would you just casually raise your hands just for a moment?
Why do you want us to raise our hands so much?
To make sure we're all in agreement, visibly. A head nod could get so miscalculated, am I right, Doctor?
Indeed. Actions show louder than words.
Hmm.
I just want to renegotiate. And that's what's going to happen.
How about this? I'll put my hand down.
Hold on, I'm getting a phone call that I need to take. I will be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be right back, too.
Anyways, this guy Brady. Let me tell you guys about this guy Brady.
That guy sucks. He's an
God,
asshole.
like, oh my god.
Fucking hate that
I'm just
douche.
confused why he wants us to raise our hands so much. Are we like making a pact with something that we shouldn't be?
I mean, maybe.
Like, is this how deals with demons get made? I don't like this.
It's usually like the other way around. Like,
I'm not
they-
raising my hand at all.
I don't think
All right,
I
I'm
want to
back.
raise my hand either. Sounds scary.
Yeah, so that guy Brady, he sucks. Oh, hey Brady, how's it going?
Oh no, it looks like the cavern's falling in on us and there's no
Oh,
escape.
no.
Also kidding.
Alright.
Looks like we don't have a deal. Well, I tried.
I mean, I said yes to the deal.
Well, I can't very well give you the information that also happens to help those that were not a part of the deal, can I? So it seems
mean-
we're back at square one.
Alright.
Good,
And
so
I
now
unfortunate-
Cassius gets his renegotiation.
Yes, except for I do not agree to those terms because I have already tried to use gold, and it didn't work, and I will not use it again. I gave you your chance. You didn't take it. So now, and he starts to stroke his chin. Ah, I know what will work. You all can get the information you need. I will give you a lump sum of gold for your understanding, but you will find the Carlyle family and murder them.
The who now what ho?
Yes,
No.
it's perfect. This way they cannot take my business from me in name.
The what? The who?
How about we take care of that griffin instead?
Can y'all not legally change your names here?
And he looks at you. There's really no point in changing your name. It follows you forever.
He's not wrong.
People, just by looking at me, know of the shame that my family name carries. Why do you think I can't get a liquor license? Because they do not believe it will work. So they just save me the trouble.
Why didn't you say that at first?
You didn't ask.
We did ask you why you couldn't get a liquor license.
I asked you like 30 times.
I told you that I had tried, and that is all that you heard. You did not ask for details. Oh, I'm getting another call. God damn it. Leave me alone!
See, anyways, like I was saying about Brady.
I mean, what y'all doing with this one? Because I'm not voting.
Well, I'm going to offer that we take care of the Griffin instead of murdering his family for him, because Trina won't do that.
Yeah, in this case, Giles sees no reason to murder a family for someone else's.
And anyways,
own
killing his
benefit.
family isn't going to make the family name any better.
Exactly. It's just gonna. He obviously got exiled.
Was this his family again?
All right, I'm back.
I understand.
Perhaps maybe we got off on the wrong foot. Negotiations, round one. What do you want?
Trina.
We'll take the information, some money, and in exchange, you don't tell anyone who we are, and we'll leave you alone.
Very well.
Hold on, what?
Money, information, you leave me alone, and we're good.
Mm-hmm.
All in agreement? And he raises his hand.
Fine.
I'll raise my hand.
Raise my hand.
Yeah, I raised my hand with a smirk on my face.
Agent J, are you really wishing to be out on this legendary event?
He shrugged his shoulders.
I say to Agent J, I don't know how things are handled in your land, but here, it's a little more, how I'd say.
Primitive.
Exactly.
Very well, we don't even need your vote, so thank you, Agent J, for being a part of this. So, and he stands up real quick. I'm glad we could finally figure this out. Like I said before, you are welcome to stay with the encampment. The bonfire is mighty warm. The people will not talk to you. And I will give you each a bottle of whiskey for free.
I want to talk to us.
What is the deal? Say it out loud.
The deal is that I give you the information that you seek. I give you some gold. Or you leave me alone, and that is it.
Leave you
And you don't tell anyone, especially the white,
alone.
whatever, claw.
Oh, yes, of course not. No, the white ghosts do not even need to be involved. I am sorry I even brought it up.
Hmm.
And no murdering entire towns.
Oh, yes, that's a given. Of course, yes.
Apparently it's not.
Well, and he kind of shrugs his shoulders. I'll be honest,
The first time I like really looked at him. Like,
And he shrugs his shoulders. I can't believe you thought that I would even do such a thing or have something like that ready. I'm not a monster.
Well, I've met higher class. I've done worse.
when I was detecting his thoughts, he was serious about that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So
But
he,
I just want to make sure I didn't misunderstand that, because that matters a lot.
yeah.
When I read his thoughts, he definitely had a plan that if he died, he was going to kill a whole town.
So he stands up and he brushes himself off and goes over. You can hear him grabbing a couple of bottles, and he brings out 4 additional ones, puts them on the table. There you go. Divide and conquer as you please between yourselves. And he grabs a little coin pouch and tosses it towards Cassiel. And your gold. It's not much, but it will do.
How much
And
is
he,
it?
50 gold pieces.
Okay.
Now, just because of the nature of these things, you are obviously still superior in firepower. So, you will need to go to this town in order to get your information. The town of Grim Meadow. It is about, I guess now that you've got a cart and things, maybe 3 days travel from here, depending on how treacherous the river is this time of year. Usually at the end of the summer, it's not too bad. And I could show you the route that will take you towards that griffin lair if you really wanted to do some good for this country. But if not, that is all on you. I don't particularly care, because the way we're doing things is
I'd
working.
like that. You're gonna give it to us.
So wait, you told people our information, and so we have to go to another town in order to get that information?
Correct, yes. It is all a part of the... to make sure that my skin is covered.
It's intelligent.
Because-
I would have done the same thing.
If I were to tell you the information now, what is to keep you from murdering us all, or trying to take us in?
Oh no, I get it. I just wanted to confirm that that was the
The
case.
threat of destroying an entire town and turning them into meat pies.
Like I said, it was only a bluff.
Was it though?
And he kind of looks at you with a smile. Of course, yes. It would never reach so low. It is called Grim Meadow. And
Grim Meadow.
he tells you that it is to the west of here, along the traveler or the traders road, which is the main road that leads from Burkton to the city's or the empire capital.
Who do we have to speak to?
They will find you. I do not know the informant's name or what they look like, but the last time I sent my boys over a few days ago, I had told them, tell the informant of these folk, and if they come to this town, give them the information.
Okay. Anything
And I
else?
gave them very, very detailed information about all of you. I am quite the artiste, after all.
You are good.
All right then.
Well, and you know that if we don't get this information, then we'll just be right back here.
Precisely. See, now you're starting to understand. And why would I welcome you into my home, show you all of the defenses that I clearly lack, if I was not going to give you the information? Do not worry, I will not defy you on this one.
Okay then. I straighten up my cuffs and reach out a hand for a handshake.
And he goes in and shakes your hand. And you can... So as you're shaking his hand, Giles, you can feel in your own stomach, you start to feel hungry. And your belly rumbles. Would you like food, perhaps, maybe? Sounds like these negotiations dragged on a little longer than anticipated. We could feed you.
Sure.
Not
Or
part of
I
the
could do
deal,
you-
of course, but, you know, as a courtesy.
I could do you one as well. How about you allow me to make all of us a meal as per this deal, as
So
finalizing.
doctor of the mind and the stomach.
Indeed.
Very well.
Provided that you have the necessary ingredients.
Oh, I'm sure we have mighty fine selection. Let me show you to our stores. And he stands up. And again, thank you all for coming to an agreement and sparing our lives. If you wish to bring your wagon in, if you're more comfortable with it, we can provide hay and water for the horses so that they are fresh for tomorrow's journey.
Sounds good.
And if you don't mind.
If I don't mind.
If you all don't mind retrieving the wagon, please. Wouldn't want them to stay out there on a lonesome.
Are you talking to us or him?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's. I'm talking to you guys.
Okay.
Yes, let's get the wagon.
While
I'll
they
go out
retrieve
and
the
go.
wagon, Doctor, please follow me. And he starts to make his way towards the
I,
exit of the cave.
Mm-hmm.
I go with him. Giles, do you want me to stick around?
Feel free. Maybe you will learn a thing or two.
So,
I say to my little fox to go check out that other cave.
okay. The one to the right, I take it, the one y'all didn't look at? Okay. So the fox starts to run out ahead of everybody and takes a left. Seems your friend has already smelt where the food is.
He's a
And-
hungry boy.
You guys round the corner and start to walk into that cave, and there's a pretty lavish setup for a kitchen. There's multiple large cauldrons that are obviously used to feed more than just 6 bandits and the boss. There are provisions that could last maybe an entire army for multiple months at a time. And it's a fairly deep cave, probably about 40 feet deep and pretty wide. So he walks in there. This should be everything you need. Utensils are on that wall. All the ingredients are in the back, and they are labeled accordingly in the barrels. I will get my men to assist you as the sous chef.
Very well. And I begin taking off my suit jacket again, folding it up and like rolling up my sleeves.
He puts his fingers in his mouth and gives a notable wolf whistle. And as he does that, one of the guardsmen that's on the fucking thing, he hops down the ladder and starts to run over. Sir! And he stands up really straight. You are to help the doctor here prepare us a lovely meal. Yes, sir. Are there any ingredients we are not allowed to use on this day? No. Let the doctor use the finest ingredients we may have. Thank you, sir. Very gracious of you, sir. And he looks to you. Doctor, where do we start? We have all manners of things.
All right. Since we have more than a few people, perhaps we should make a simple beef stew. You happen to have any beef laying around?
Oh, we've got plenty. And he starts to go through and we won't role play this whole thing, but he starts, you go to the back.
Make a beef stew? No.
All right.
Just kidding.
All right, so I grab the ingredients like potatoes, carrots, and everything like that, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll my
There you go,
cook
Kirsten.
stuff. Oh no!
So
Nice.
you and the sous chef start to cook a beef stew. It takes roughly 45-ish minutes to do so. And go ahead and roll me.
The cook's utensils.
Yeah, use the cook's utensils, and you can use intelligence with it. Okay. Perfect. So,
I'd like to take a short rest during this time.
yeah, that's fine, because short
Yeah.
rests only take 10 minutes. So let's see. We'll jump ahead. So short rest for anyone that needs it, for any of their abilities or anything like that. As the doctor and the sous chef are going to work, Saxon walks around the bonfire and just continues, like he's standing there. He's got his cane behind his back, and he's just staring into the flames. Is there anything the party that is not cooking wish to do?
Well, did we go get the wagon?
Yeah, did we go get the wagon or?
We'll say as they start cooking, you guys leave to go get the wagon. As that's happening, is there anything that you guys do getting the wagon?
Not particularly.
Okay. You go grab the wagon, you bring it back. The other guard leaves his post and hitches the horses, gives them a bunch of hay to eat and some fresh water to drink, and then goes back to his post. The other folks are around the bonfire and they're starting to shiver, and Saxon is still standing there staring at the flames. And as you're looking at him, like his face is lit up, and you can see him sort of whispering to them, it seems like, from afar. But because of he's just looking at the flames, and it looks as if he's and it looks as if he's talking to himself. But because of the crackle of the bonfire, you can't hear what he's saying.
Creepy.
Brady?
Yes.
On the way back in. So have we come back yet or no?
You can be on the way back in if you would like.
Okay. On the way back in, can I try and talk to one of these people?
The people around the bonfire?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
So you come back in with the wagon, and you come close to the bonfire, and you can see the 4 folks. There is the guard at the gate as well. So which one are you trying to talk to?
I nod to the guard, say hello there.
And he nods back.
You guys live out in caves often?
And he kind of looks over at the bonfire, and then looks at you and shakes his head.
Can you not speak?
And he looks over towards the bonfire and back at you and shakes his head.
Is that a no?
And he nods his head yes.
Okay. I go over towards the bonfire and I talk to the other people, or try to.
All of you, except for Dr. Giles, unless you're specifically not at the bonfire, roll me a perception check as Lloyd starts to speak to the other people.
You said roll a what?
Perception.
So everybody, but not me though, right? Or...
No, you're there. You can roll it.
Oh, okay.
You can't guidance though.
Yeah, good. Perception.
Okay. So as Lloyd comes over and starts talking, hey, do you guys live in caves often? Huh? Wow.
Wow.
You see the gentleman sort of like, he's got a blanket on him, and he kind of like, I guess, clutches it closer and kind of like puts his head away from you as if you have your hand raised to smack him, like he's expecting to get hit or something. And the only person that notices anything is Trina. As you're looking at Lloyd speak with this person, you cast a glance at Saxon, and his face remains the same, staring into the flames, but his eyes are piercing towards the man that Lloyd is talking to.
I asked the guy, "You hungry? You guys kind of look a little bit hungry there when I was coming in."
He shakes his head really quickly to just say no. He's not hungry at all. They did just eat a little while ago before you all arrived. I had made sure that their supper was prepared beforehand, just in case it was their last. Which, I'll be honest, that's what I expected. So again, we are at your mercy, and I greatly appreciate you coming to an understanding.
Why aren't they talking to us?
I believe they've caught some sort of fever that prevents them from talking.
don't
Am I
think
right?
that's a thing. I
And
don't think
they
that's
all
a
shake
thing.
their heads yes. Yes, see, some sort of sickness has been going around the camp. I have not caught it though. Luckily, maybe my
Expecting
time is
that we
coming
will?
soon. No. I do not think that it is transferable anymore. They've been like this for a few days now. They should be back to normal here soon. And the one that you're talking to, Lloyd, shakes his head yes.
Okay.
Ah, that stew is starting to smell quite fine. Is there any particular question you had for my men? Perhaps I can answer for them, since they are unable to speak,
Just
unfortunately.
wondering why they aren't speaking for themselves.
I'm trying to understand here. If we're gonna go to this town you told us to go to, they're gonna have all the information for us once they see us?
Yes, well, not they, as in all of them, but my informant there will, yes.
And he already knows what we're like?
Yes, he
We just
has
have
a
to go
picture
there?
of each of you. And I
He's
told
already
him...
been told?
Correct. Because if you all... What the hell is that? Because if you all reach that town before my men do, he knows that our deal came to a honorable conclusion. And he will relay the information that I have given him. And then
So,
you will be on your way.
What stops us from violating our agreement and racing over to that town?
I don't quite follow what you mean. How would you violate your agreement? You mean kill us and head to the town?
Yes.
Because I have things in place. If we are to die, they will know. By all means. And he raises his hands.
Can I tell? He's not bluffing, I can guess, but can I tell if he's bluffing?
You can roll an insight check.
Jesus Christ. Whenever it matters.
Yeah, he seems to be 100% legit. He's holding up his hands.
Oh, that's
If you
cool.
wish.
I didn't. There's a little re-roll. Did you know that?
Yes, that's
new
that's
module?
new.
That's a
Not a new
glitch.
module.
Yeah.
I think it's it's something they added to the 5e system. But honestly, it's pretty neat because let's say you click the attack roll or something like that, and you can click it again instead of having to, you can click on it from the chat. I don't know when you would honestly need to do that, but I could see certain situations where you roll a thing and maybe it didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Inspiration.
Well, everything technically already roll. Yeah, if you're using your inspiration to do a reroll or the lucky feat, that would probably be the best time for it. And to answer your question, Kirsten, yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna do it on everyone that I can around here.
What are you doing?
I mean,
A
it's
thing.
a single creature.
Well, but I mean, one single creature, so I can only do it to one creature. I thought it was more along the lines of
Once
that
per
was a
turn,
Babel
as a
thing.
bonus action at the end of your turn, you can choose one creature that you can see within
Yeah.
30 feet to doom them. So, whenever you deal your Doomsayer damage to a creature and your Raven is perched on you, you
Got
gain
it.
special insight into their fate. So you can
Yeah,
Doomsay
but-
one person at a time.
Oh, so I can't do like a bunch as like one for each turn?
Oh, are you trying to do it for the if they die within 3 days part?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. In theory, yeah, you would be able to do that then. That
Okay.
part.
Then
I didn't
that's-
know what
that's
your
what I'd like to
intentions
do.
were.
Sorry.
Brady
Yeah.
has to
No,
come
that's what I meant
with
to do.
the fate of like 11 people. I'm sorry, Brady.
Hold on. Yes.
All of
Yes.
us, they will be killed in 10 seconds by Katsael. Will be killed in 10 seconds.
Okay.
No, yeah.
So you guys, Trina starts to look around, and as she does, she starts to stare at somebody, and like they're obviously looking into the bonfire, and they sort of squint their eyes, and they curl up, and they start shaking their head. No, 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 no. Saxon looks at them. What are you mumbling about? And she goes on to look at the next person, and they're kind of looking at that person that's shaking, and then all of a sudden their eyes get wide and they curl up. No, 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 no. What are you doing to my men?
Are you sure your people are okay? Should they be taken into town for a doctor or something?
Perhaps maybe after whatever witchcraft you've put on them?
I did nothing.
Don't y'all have a doctor? Dr. Giles can look at him, right?
He's a psychiatrist.
Same difference.
That
Is it,
psychiatrist
though?
is actually a medical doctor with a psychology degree.
Not in this town, it's not. I actually have no idea if that would be the case. I would think in...
Maybe we
That's
should
what,
ask
that's
Dr.
what Hannibal
Thorpe.
Lecter is. He's a medical doctor with a psychology degree as well.
See, I don't...
Good
I've
shit,
never
good.
seen the show or the movies, so I don't know.
I also know what a psychiatrist.
Well, in
That's
this
sad.
case, for this situation, I mean, I could look at him, but I'm cooking, so I'm not here.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, anyone can do a medicine check, but Dr. Thorpe is proficient in it, so it would be fine, yes.
Could I get up and do an Arcana check to see if there's anything going on with them?
With the people,
Yeah.
I mean, you take a look at them, and there's definitely no magical essence about what's going on.
Okay.
Do you continue, Trina, doing your thing?
How many did I get to do?
2.
Just 2. How many are there?
Total of 6 plus Saxon.
Okay. So they can feel it?
Yeah. You give them an impending sense of doom.
That's cool.
None of us are noticing her do anything.
I mean, you see, I would say that you all eventually, like, because you're kind of just sitting there looking around. So unless someone is like deep into the bonfire, you see her like looking, and she's got this sort of like crazed look in her eyes as she looks at each of these
Crazed?
people. I would say so. You're dooming
dear.
them.
No, I'm not dooming them. I'm looking into their future at some point if they die. You know, that's
Her eyes-
not a big
her eyes-
deal.
Her
You
eyes
are
just
putting
turn
in-
beady.
Yeah, you are putting doom onto them. That's what the doomsayer thing does.
No, it doesn't.
Her eyes,
It literally does.
Yeah.
her eyes turn beady, and then she just growls like "Rrr."
Yes. You guys notice
No,
that there's
I gain
something.
insight into their fate.
Yeah, if they
If
die.
they die within 3 days.
But you're
They're
also
not gonna
putting a
die.
sense-
They're not automatically going to die.
No, but I don't think you're connecting what I'm saying. You're putting an impending sense of doom. The next time they take damage, they would take extra damage, your little doomsayer damage, which is the impending sense of doom. And that's that's what you're doing to them. So you're putting this
Yeah.
impending sense of doom, and they're freaking out.
Can I do? I want to do something.
Go for it.
So,
Uh-oh.
nah, never mind. I'm not gonna do
Do
it.
it, do it.
Now you have to do it, Gerald.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
Do it.
Do it, man.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So,
We're only 2 episodes
so,
in.
so as I'm looking at all this go down, I'm like next to one of them. I'm assuming. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna say, what's wrong with him? And I'm like, yo, you alright? And I'm gonna shake him. Is he still acting silly?
The one that she used her doomsayer thing on.
Yes. Like,
Yes,
is he still saying no,
Yeah,
or whatever?
and as you start to shake him, he's like, ooh!
So I'm gonna grab him. I'm gonna grab him, not like, just hold him by the shoulder, like, yo, calm down, snap out of it. And I want to slap him, but I want to do damage as I slap him.
No! God, you're so rude.
I told you no.
Roll
I
an
said-
unarmed strike, which is a
I said
d20
no.
plus your strength modifier.
How do I do that?
Just press the d20
Is
at
it-
the bottom. Actually, I guess you could just roll just do a strength roll.
All right, here we go.
Hey, man, I told you not to do it, man.
I literally said no, but y'all said do it.
No, I said no.
You thought it. That's what your character would do. So,
Hey,
it's the
you're
most.
just playing your role.
Did
So
I do that
Agent,
right?
you did, yeah. So Agent J starts to shake them, and these men are unarmored, so their AC is very low, and he smacks the shit out of them. Roll your Doomsayer damage for me, please, Trina.
Two.
Jesus.
What's plus 2?
It's 3d6.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Kill this man.
oh my god.
So as
Oh my god. You just like swallowed
Hey, y'all-
his tongue. You gotta explain this one, Brady.
Please.
oh, I will,
Explain this one.
but so Agent J is shaking this man. He's like, "Hey, are you okay? Smack out of it!" And he smacks the shit out of him. And as he does, there's this bleak, faint energy that expels from Agent J's hand as he makes contact, almost like a little implosion of doom. And the man starts to scream, and he runs into the bonfire, catches on fire, and begins to roll in the ashes. It won't take me! I won't let it take me! Oh! All of the rest of them hop up, and they like back away from all of
my
you.
God.
And Saxon,
Holy shit.
I thought that we had an agreement.
Yo, I don't know what just happened. I literally
What
do not
happened
know.
to him?
What is
stand
wrong
up
with this
and
man?
summon my sword in my hand.
What's
I don't know what's wrong with your friend, and he looks at Trina, but she's doing something. I can see it in her eyes. I'm sure you can too. I know where she comes from, and this does not fool me, as he looks at you, Trina. Go ahead, slice us all down. The fate of that town has been sealed.
But no, come on. Just
I told you no harm is to come to me or my men.
I didn't
And
do
and he points
anything.
to the bonfire, and now one lies dead. In fact, and he starts to sniff the air. It sickens me to have that scent looming in the air. Doctor!
I come out, wiping brushing my hands off. Like, yes.
I have appreciated our time together, but I must ask you all to leave. I would make haste. There's a chance, just a slight chance, that you can make it to Grim Meadow before my men enact our plan.
What happened? if I
He
may
points his
ask?
cane to the bonfire, and you see a new corpse that is smoldering, completely ashen, but it is of the same dimensions as one of the people that were sitting around the bonfire, which you notice that there's one less of them.
At that moment, Giles is like looking at the party, like with that that meme of the, you know what meme I'm talking about, the dude that's like giving that look like, are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm just looking away. My hands are like pinching my like the space in between your eyes. I'm just shaking my head.
I'm gonna attack him non-lethally.
Okay. So that is combat. So go ahead and you roll a dex.
Hold on, what?
This is all because you slapped that hoe.
Dad, I was Brady. It is on recording. I said no, did I not? I said no.
You did. You said, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it," and they're like, "No, do it."
Yeah, y'all said role plays. I role
Wait,
played.
he has a 8 modifier to his dexterity?
It would seem so. So as you go in, he starts to cast a spell.
I see that, and I counterspell.
He counterspells your counterspell.
I will expend a slot then, and I will sit back down.
Yep. And he
I counterspell
vanishes.
his counterspell.
You have a counterspell too?
I do. It's a part of my sword.
Is it part of your sword?
Yes.
I also have a
It's called
counter
Spellbreaker.
I mean,
And
if he
I
doesn't
have a
counterspell, then
counterspell
I
as
will, so.
Oh, so we just all have counterspells?
You didn't think we was going to take counter spell?
I don't have counterspell yet, but I do have the ability to do it.
Don't I have?
I also read his book, so I know counter spell.
No, you have to. That one is. It takes longer to learn. That's level
Maybe I don't
3
have it.
spell,
I need to double check.
and you have to spend the money and time to learn it.
Yeah, we're going all counterspell.
I mean, if none of them are counterspelling, then I will.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh.
your spellbreaker
So-
thing. Your Witchblade grants you the ability to strike back at magical.
What page is it on? I'm trying to find it.
Should be page 2.
I mean,
the
on,
Witchblade.
did I not add it to the...
It's on your features page under spellbreaker.
I just suck at finding things really bad. So, she's gonna do it?
Well, no, you're doing it, so you use the
Okay.
ability. So as he counterspells Lloyd's counterspell, and then you counterspell his spell, he goes, right, fine. He takes out a dagger and plunges it in his heart.
Lovely.
What?
Well, he's dead.
And as he
Alright.
does so,
Thank
you see blood start to drip down his mouth, and you see his face sort of shapeshift real quick, and then right back to where it is. I did not want to put this poor gal at risk, but I was not going to face you all in person. Of course not. Do as you wish. But that town, Grim Meadow, I think their fate has been sealed 100% now that I am freed of this body. And the face starts to, it mangles back, and you can see, like, it's starting to show female features. And now I know your faces. I have them committed to memory. And I believe that I have friends that will be paying you a visit very, very soon.
Hey, man, we're so cool, right? I didn't do anything to you.
Hey, I literally didn't do anything. I have no idea what's going on.
Can I rush over to the body and cast Cure Wounds? But I know he's in the process of dying at the moment, so not dead yet.
Correct. He's not. The spell that he's using to tether himself to this body is fading. The body that he is using to use this spell is technically dead because she was a commoner. And but I'll let it fly
So
because
he tried to cast a spell
Okay.
and then used an attack to attack himself in the same turn.
yeah, bonus action with the light weapon.
Fair. Unless he didn't take the attack action, but if he has the Snoopy feat.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. I can't wait for y'all to meet him. So he.
Yeah, the 28.
We already met him.
No, we didn't.
Oh.
So
when you roll that 28, I'm like, oh.
the spell starts to fade, and he's like, "We will be in touch, I'm sure. And feel free to ransack what you can here. I have no need of it anymore. Goodbye, and it was lovely meeting some of you." And as he says that, the form
Bye.
completely shifts into that of a female girl who now has a dagger plunged in her heart, and she just falls over. But Dr. Giles comes over, and he grabs her hand and starts to speak to her, and you can see this sort of he takes the dagger out of her heart, I guess, first of all, and then he starts to speak.
I actually want to go over and take the dagger out. And
Okay.
I'm going to say, I know where this is going. And I tuck the dagger away.
And Dr. Thorpe he grabs her hand and starts to speak to her, and you can see this sort of searing fire close the wound, leaving behind a small scar where the dagger once was. And the woman, she's got this dead look in her eyes, mouth is wide open, and all of a sudden,
I like wipe.
and she just starts to bawl.
I like wipe the hair from like her forehead and just like, "Are you okay?"
No. I was dead. I saw the afterlife. It's horrible. It's all horrible.
It's
Do
okay.
do you remember anything?
It was dark. It was as if nothing was there. It's as if nothing is after this life. It was like an endless void. You're okay though, Maggie, right? And
Relax,
the men start to stand
you
up.
weren't going there. Your fate hadn't been decided yet. You were destined to come back for here. That's why there was no great beyond.
I begin to carry her towards the tent.
Okay. Is she gonna be okay?
Oh, you guys can speak now, huh?
And they look at each other and are like, oh, well, he's not here anymore, so sure.
Did he tell you not to? Yeah, she'll
Is
be
he
okay.
threatening you?
Oh,
Did we get his name? I don't remember.
Did you get his name?
Yeah.
Saxon?
He called him Saxon Carlisle.
Saxon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's gonna be okay. What about you guys? Was he threatening you guys, or what's going on?
Oh, I mean, kind of, I guess, but nothing we could really do about it, We all come from very poor families, and we do this kind of work because it pays the bills and stuff. Send it back home, but it's been years since I've seen my little girl.
Why didn't you guys just go back home?
Because if we were to leave, he would have killed him.
Well, what now?
Oh, God. Oh, gods! And you see him start to panic, and he throws his blanket off, and he's obviously wounded. You can see that he's limping, but he starts to run towards one of the camps. I got to leave!
Where are you going?
I got to go home! And as he gets to his tent, he falls over and begins to cry in his hands. It's useless! I can't even walk. The other two men that are standing, let's see. Yeah, the guard has since come down, and so has the sous chef, and they go, well, my family's all dead, so I guess I'm okay, right? That man,
I didn't think it wasn't gonna be me that set this whole thing off. Who was it? What happened?
All I remember seeing was that man there, and he points to Agent J, smacked Hadley on the back so hard that he died.
It sounds like Kirsten can't hear you.
Yeah, I see that. Hello?
Yes, I hear you now.
Could everybody else hear me?
I did.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard you.
Interesting. So that would probably mean that it's my only thing would be a connection thing on your end, either with your audio or maybe
probably.
your internet.
I think it's probably my internet. But anyway, he fell down and then what did he say?
He said that he wouldn't be able to make it back home in time.
Can you tell us about this guy?
We don't really know much. He told us he was from a wealthy family back at the capital, and he said he was looking for honest men to come work for him. He had a new distillery he was opening up, and that we would be paid very high wages. And it's really hard to find good work like that, and distillery work's usually pretty easy, so we all decided to join him. And it was a long, long journey before we finally got here, and he showed us his operation, which we didn't agree with. But that's when he changed from being this charismatic gentleman to being the monster that he truly is. He threatened all of us and said that he had already put people in our towns that would get word if we would ever betray him, and that they would kill our families. And I know he'd do it, because some folks have tried to divert, and by the time they got home, their families was gone, without a trace. It's almost as if they up and left, but everyone had seen them that day prior. Oh, Darnell, he didn't make it after that. It shook him so hard that he took his own life that night. We don't know what it is that he's able to do, but he does have magic at his disposal. So we know that he's powerful, more powerful than he makes it seem. That's for sure. He tries to use his charm first, and it works most of the time. It worked on you all, I think. Or maybe he just cut you a good deal, I don't know. But either way, he didn't have to show who he really was until the end. But I really think that he just wanted to have a reason, an excuse to go and destroy a whole town. He's been talking about it for weeks.
Well, we have a cart. We can try and get there as fast as we can before they're able to destroy the town.
But he has
go right
magic.
I'm in the middle of calming the woman down in the tent, and after I get done, I come out, brush my hands off again. So, what is it that happened?
Time to go.
Lord Sax... not Lord.
We'll explain on the way.
We should be fine, I guess. But if you do get to Grim Meadow before him, please try to save our families, if they're still there.
By all means, come with us.
They shake their head very, very quickly. I don't want to see him again. I think we'll do what we can to tarnish this place, make sure he can't come back to anything worthwhile. That might help slow him down.
What,
You all came from Burton, did you not?
Yeah, we did.
Is it nice there?
Have you never been there?
And they shake their head. No, we all came from Grim Meadow. Not really reason to travel if you don't have the coin for it, which is farmers.
It's a small town.
It's a town.
Sounds
Okay.
There's a tavern.
I'm sure you could find work there.
I run into the kitchen and grab my jacket and let all of them know. Well, the stew is about done. Could actually last you a couple of days. feel free to have whatever's in there. We must make haste.
Saw like an army's worth of rations in there. Maybe we should take a couple.
Yeah, I want to go. See, so
I can assure you I can make more on our trip.
Oh,
Fine.
about that. We were the only ones left behind. He moved everybody else to a different camp before you guys got here a few days ago.
Yeah.
How many?
Kind of put that together. Thank you.
There's roughly about 60 of them, and some of them are a little more callous than the rest. Some of them actually follow him and believe in everything he says, and they want to do good by him. So those are the ones that are making the trouble for us. The rest of us just go and sell the liquor.
Yeah. I kind of figured that was the case. Do you know where this camp is?
No, he doesn't usually change camp very often, but when he does, it's very quick, and he doesn't make everyone aware of it, just the ones that are going. And I think because we had gotten into a little bit of an accident on our last trip, that's why we were stuck here, to make us seem defenseless as a group.
Did he ever come here in person, you said? Or no?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Did he have like his personal quarters around here somewhere?
I guess that's a little bit of a funny thing. He never really slept. He would come here, usually late, and he would leave before everyone would wake up. Most of us that took the night shift, we would see him leave on horseback. He would head east, but I don't know where. We never really cared to follow him. We just figured maybe he had the business.
Is there anything else back in that storage room over there?
Just provisions and booze. If you want some of it, go ahead, fill up your cart, because the rest of it we're going to take for ourselves.
Where does the booze come from?
The booze made in those cauldrons that the doctor was using to make foods.
Is there like a recipe around here somewhere, or?
No, he's only got a few folks that actually distill it, and those folks aren't here with us right now. He took them to the new camp.
Okay.
Is it okay if I take a few of these provisions?
You take everything that you'd like. As long as we have enough to make it to Burkton in one piece, we should be perfectly fine for you to take the rest.
All right.
I guess whatever you have left over for us, we'll be able to take and hopefully sell, or be able to live off of it while we try to find new ways to live.
Yeah, I grab a bunch of like ingredients, like carrots and all kinds of stuff, and like start storing it inside the wagon.
You can put it in my
All right,
bag.
it's time to go. We gotta go.
Oh. And then I grab a
Carrots
few.
aren't worth an entire town of dead people.
I mean,
I grab a crate. I grab like one crate of the whiskey as well, and then get ready to leave.
Okay. You guys grab the provisions and stuff. It doesn't take you too terribly long to do so. And as you load up the wagon and start heading off, the girl comes out of the tent and joins them. So there's 6 folks there, and they wave. Good luck to you. Thanks for securing our freedoms.
Oh, you're welcome. Stay safe.
I give a nod.
Okay.
Go to the town. Try to lay low, I guess.
And as you guys are pulling off into the darkness, because it is dark outside, that is where we will end tonight's session. And just you guys are heading straight to the town, right? You're not going to the Griffin anymore, or at least not yet.
Probably
Not right now.
Okay.
That is the other
It's
town.
definitely
right?
not just a
didn't
griffin.
Save.
It's royalty.
every time I edit something, right, like it doesn't save half the time. What was the town called again?
The town is called Grim Meadow. Where are you putting it?
In the journal entries.
Okay.
I had save, I thought, last time, but it didn't.
It doesn't show. It's
So yeah, so yeah, if you don't, actually, I don't know why it does that, and we can also get rid of that weird thingy. Saxon's dagger.
The description of it is what I wanted to show. It's funny.
If you click on Sax, oh, it didn't do it. Interesting. Let me take a look then. This will find. Yeah, I think I've got that thing turned off so that it doesn't give us like the whole text of
absolutely.
everything.
Sometimes it's super long. Yeah.
So let me go.
Scumbag DM for sure.
Hey man, y'all foolish. I'm just joking. Y'all letting Gerald.
You did a very, very good job of making sure nothing good was coming of this.
Yeah.
I just come out like.
I didn't realize that my Doomsayer roll was gonna be so high.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it didn't.
They only have 11 health. Yeah.
Yeah, they all.
And
went
that's
down
if they're
full
at
sleep.
full HP, which they were all
and he said they were all
injured.
beat the fuck up, and sick.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll be right back.
that was.
And so it begins. So hopefully you all enjoyed that. Lord Saxon is going to be the first villain of the characters campaign, or of their new campaign. I think he's pretty dope, but I'm biased. It's always fun to see how the party dynamic is going to start. And I knew the moment Gerald said he was going to try something that it had something to do with triggering Trina's Doomsayer in a way. I know he just wanted to do it to see what would happen, and I'm kind of glad he did, because they wouldn't have met Saxon as a villain just yet had they actually kept everything peaceful. They would have left, and then something would have happened eventually. But now we get to just start it off with a bang. So, should be fun. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves, and until we see you next time,